Welcome to B&B's E3 conference, where
Woo!
we're on stage right now. I made sure to mute out the audience cheering so that you can get the real footage here at home, really high quality. Because I love E3, Benjamin. I love E3. Last year was kind of boring, but this year it's good, man. I like gathering everyone into one place to show off. It's like the Olympic sports of video games, Benjamin.
Yeah, not those mobile. The two guys we watched playing.
Oh Christ, we'll talk
Oh
about that.
God.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So there's
Not that type
the
of Olympics.
here at E3 we have the highest highs and the lowest of lows. It's the full emotional spectrum. But why don't you go first? Do you have anything you wanted to talk about? Anything you're looking forward to?
Well, I was gonna start off by saying this is the first year I've actually watched parts of E3 live. Every other year, I've always just looked up to see afterwards what happened,
No
and
way.
it's a shame. It's a shame. But
Live is
this
the best
year,
part. You can
I
you can spam the chat with millions of other people. It's half
tis
the
true.
fun.
Tis true. And I got to see those amazing mobile gamers fight it out,
Oh
playing who
God.
knows what.
Okay,
Um,
speaking of mobile, right? You're good? Is that what you wanted to say or anything else?
well,
What
I
were you
was,
looking forward to?
yeah, looking forward to. So I did play through super late, but The Last of Us recently, which makes me super excited for Last of Us Part 2. Should be amazing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Did you see the trailer for it that was last year?
No.
Benjamin, come on, man.
I know it's bad.
Oh,
It,
you can check it out. It's basically someone almost gets hung like by a noose, but then don't worry about it. You can watch it later. After you
okay,
watch my
yeah.
video, hey, check out Sorry Bones on YouTube. I made a video about totally accurate battlegrounds.
Yeah, we were
Just got a
playing that a
plug
little
there.
bit.
Yeah, we'll play that a little bit. But anything else besides The Last of Us?
Let's see. I know I'm playing Red Dead right now, so I know Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out. I don't know if there's anything about that
Where
this
are you in
E3.
Red Dead?
Pretty early on. I haven't gotten what's the first guy, Bill or whatever his name is. I have not killed him yet. So, I'm still pretty early on.
Okay, solid. Well, you're gonna catch up real fast once you get to college and you have more free time and you are allowed to be Benjamin. So that'll be
Tis true.
fun. But I mean, I'm looking forward to those two. Really Battlefield. I've kind of been in a
Oh yeah.
Battlefield mood for the past month or two, and I don't know. That's a whole conversation. But speaking of that, let's jump into the first conference, right?
Woo.
EA, Electronic Arts, voted worst company in America 2 years in a row. So no one really goes into EA's conference going like, "Oh boy, I can't wait to see what developer they just ate." But
Ah.
yeah.
No, you
So
could tell. Like when I was watching it, you could tell they were trying to like excite the crowd, and then
oh
everyone
man,
like five people cheer.
they were they were trying really hard to let everyone know that they're really cool now and they'll never rip anyone off again. So their host was some literally who I don't even know. But so what I wrote down that I predicted was that they're going to say, please don't hate us. We're giving money to charity. Sorry for Battlefront 2. And then also here's some boring sports. So I was right about everything except they didn't explicitly apologize for Battlefront 2. So I guess they're trying to move past it. But
Right. Pretend it never happened.
yeah. So the first thing they did was Battlefield 5, which I was excited for, but it was really little. It was so small. It felt so small. They gave like a trailer, and then that's basically it. I mean,
Yeah, they
what?
spent like so much more time on sports in
Oh
comparison. Like the
man,
sports stuff went on like four times as long, it felt.
forever.
So
I mean, really. Yeah. So they did have a playable multiplayer. Like they had a giant LAN party with like 64 people. Which gives most of the news and talking about. You go to like a YouTube channel for people who are invited there, and they have gameplay like raw gameplay you can look at, which is the exciting, which is what I was waiting for. Because
right.
nobody, I mean, trailers and cinematics are all good, but man, I want to see the games themselves, right?
Yeah.
So Battlefield 5 announced Battle Royale mode, which you know how I reacted to that. Not very positively.
Yeah.
Because you know about Fortnite, everybody's playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
And so they're a little late now, but they're jumping on the train, the Battle Royale train. But man, Benjamin, Battlefield has never really been made for Battle Royale. Now it has some potential with the destruction, and they're having much a scarcity system where they have less ammo and stuff. So it could be really interesting. But at the same time, this game they're gonna push so hard for it to be released in October. EA is using the whip on DICE, and they're gonna kill their children if they do not release the game by October. So they're putting
Yeah.
all their effort into making this really janky build into a playable build they're gonna sell to people. And I mean, there's Battle Royale is just gonna suck all this money and time out of development into making this mode, which the maps really don't support. They're gonna have to make a whole new map that's giant. They're gonna have to change a bunch of mechanics, and all the normies online are like, "Well, just don't play it if you don't like it." It's like, okay, yeah, well, the rest of the game is gonna be worsened because they have to spend all this time making battle royale, so it's not okay. Okay, thanks. But I don't know, man. Battle royale is not really my flavor. You think it would be up my alley with the whole permanent elimination, gunplay kind of thing, but it's just
Yeah.
really a ton of build up with very little payoff.
I
You,
uh I spent all my time on Battle Royale way back when Minecraft Hunger Games. That's where it's
oh,
at.
the great
We actually played
granddaddy.
that a couple times, but that was where this all started. I mean, granted, yeah, Battle Royale the movie, yeah, Hunger Games, but I'm saying like in terms of games, like that was the beginnings of it,
I mean,
all
I'm
the way
sure it
back
was one of the
then.
early ones, yeah. I never claim something like that because someone always digs up like, actually in 1980 Atari released a game, and it's like an 8-bit. I don't know, but yeah, I get what you mean. It's
Well,
older than these like Fortnite kids think.
I'm just trying. I think the reason why I was saying that is I think I remember reading some article where it claimed that. Now I don't know whether it was correct, but I
Yeah.
remember reading that they were stating that was the beginnings of it. So I don't know.
So you,
Again,
you liked it before it was
Atari
cool.
Battle Royale could have
Yeah.
come out
I would
first.
so buy Atari Battle Royale. I wonder what they were trying to say, because they were trying to make a comeback last year, Atari, into the video game market. They announced their own
Wait,
console or
they're
something.
still a company? What?
I know, right?
They weren't like bought or like
I
I don't even
laughed when
know.
I saw their appearance in Blade Runner 2049. There's a
Oh my!
big advertisement
Atari and
that's like
Sega
Atari
team
across a
up.
skyscraper. Yeah. But yeah, so Battle Royale, ugh. Not many fans are not excited for it. Some of the people who just like buy it, play some matches with their friends, and then drop it are excited for it. But for the long-term users, nah. The gameplay was very interspersed. It was like a trailer, scripted gameplay showing what you can do. But thankfully, they had a build you could play.
Yeah.
Uh, War stories, I told you I love war stories. Simply changing the structure of the single player made it
Mhm.
so much better than like the trashy action movie that 4 was. It really was mediocre, but the war stories just make it way better. They can have bite-sized quality rather than one big mediocre mess.
Right.
There's no loot boxes and there's no premium. So they
How?
gotta,
Where?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta make money, and I'm gonna guess microtransactions, so you just directly buy the customization you want.
Yeah, do it like a lot of the other stuff that comes out nowadays where it's like skins and whatever are
Yeah,
the things that will fund it. So you got to make some pretty cool stuff so enough whales will buy it. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully,
maybe there'll be paid DLC. I know that the maps are gonna be free, but
yeah.
Also there's this huge race and gender controversy about how you should customize your soldiers, which I don't like talking politics, especially not on a podcast. I think I'm totally okay with it. I think it's fine. I wrestled with it for a little bit, but I was like, it's not that bad. But I don't like how nobody is in a uniform, man. I can't tell who I'm shooting at. In
Yeah, like
Battlefield 1, I'm shooting I might be facing the British forces, right? And the
mhm,
medic is always a colonial or something like that, and I can see who they are, and I know I'm shooting at a medic so that he won't revive his buddies. Or I'll see
right.
some guy and he'll have like a helmet, and I know that means he's an assault. And you know what? With a lot of the stuff going on with the new health system and things like that, I really want to prioritize targets, right? So I'm worried about that.
Yeah, it's all player choice versus historical accuracy and stuff like that. So it's like on one hand, you can understand where they're trying to like have the uniform so like you feel like you're in that time and you don't have a a random ninja Japanese British battalion fighting in World War II or something, or like where they're like you don't they want it to be historically accurate and not have it just be like silly so you don't feel like you're just like what like you were with like hot pink guns or something random that doesn't make any sense. But on the other hand, you still want to be able to customize your character. So like to play as sort of whoever. So I agree with you. I land on the side of where you should be able to pick your character, but I do think it'd be cool if they could still make all the people in uniform, right? You know, like
Uh,
still so it feels like they're in their time.
yeah, people are asking if there's like a switch to turn that stuff off and just have everyone look the same to you, even if they can see their customization. But they seemed very hesitant to answer it, like it might be really hard to implement. Now, the whole discussion is extremely politically charged, and
It
everyone get
shouldn't
which
be
makes
though, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, because both sides make sense, man. I want to play as my character. I want to play as there's an element of self-insertion with an avatar online, so you want to play as that. But it's not misogynistic or racist or whatever to not want a black Nazi. I mean, that's the question. Should there be black Nazis, Benjamin? Because it just seems like an insult to everybody.
Who knows? Who knows?
But
I can't answer this
I
question.
it's
These
really a
questions are
question for the
hard to
ages.
wrestle with.
Because
Yeah.
it's not good for anyone in terms of political identity or whatever the hell you believe in. But both sides have very valid arguments. I just don't like the extent of the customization, and that's really my problem. But yeah, yeah. So that was Battlefield 5. I looked at a lot of the gameplay, and I could go into the guts of the gameplay and how it compares. But you know what? This is E3. I don't want to Battlefield. It's not a Battlefield episode. So,
It's true.
you know what I have next as what EA presented? Sports. Yeah. Yeah. See, the problem is, Benjamin, and I told you this, nobody who just buys Madden every year, they don't go to E3. Not unless they're specifically like the Madden fan site or something, you know?
Right.
And people who go to E3, they probably aren't waiting for the and I'm saying this in quotations, new FIFA or whatever, because it's just the same game, more players. And I'm sure FIFA and Madden fans will get all over me for that, say, no, they changed some of the throwing mechanics, or no, the graphics are super epic, bro. But it's, oh man, I'm sorry, guys, you're just fooling yourselves. It's not different, and it's a giant money making machine for EA, so they pump in all that stage time devoted to the sports games, but it's really not that great. I'm just waiting for them to announce Soccer Royale. So if they introduce Soccer Royale, I will play FIFA. But
Dang.
yeah, and yeah, they had that Madden esports section. You're gonna break into. They're gonna have digital sports be real sports, which
Well, they brought in that guy who like won that
the wrestling
esports
belt. Yeah,
championship thing, and they gave him a wrestling belt.
yeah, I gave him
And
a
I was
wrestling
so
belt.
confused. I was like, is this a thing? Is there competitive like esports with real sport games? I
And you
don't
know what,
know.
Benjamin? There are, man. It's nothing new. It's been
I
it's been there for a while, but
I
they've
had
had
never heard of
tournaments.
it.
But exactly, man. No one's ever. It's just for people who are into that audience. And it's
Yeah.
funny because some people did come for EA's other games, stuff that isn't hardcore shooters or even softcore shooters. And so the Battlefield 5 gameplay, I was looking at some commentary, and they said it was really hard to get an idea for the flow of battle because basically it would be a bunch of mobile and
Hmm.
sport game players against like hardcore Battlefield YouTube journalists or whatever. So you would have
Damn.
like a couple super good super soldiers, and everyone else just a bunch of potatoes running around waiting to get killed. And it was really hard to tell what the game would be like in terms of how it felt, like how team flow feels, objective to objective, which I thought was
Mhm.
funny. But
Yeah.
then they said some stuff about Origin Access. Please give us more money. I think it's all right because they do have a lot of games for $5 a month, and you can cancel your subscription at any time. So you can have it for like 2 months, play all their games, and then unsubscribe.
Yeah.
And the only reason to stay subscribed is like really small discounts, couple bucks, and I guess early access to certain games because they let people who subscribe to that stuff play a few days in advance. Isn't that
Oh
crazy?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, digital download anyway. So they can control when people are allowed to digitally download, which is weird.
Hmm.
But Star
They
Wars
also,
version. Yeah, what?
yes, I was thinking the very same thing. Battlefront.
Yeah,
Which
buddy.
so the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, not the EA one, but the original all the way back when PS2. I sunk
Mm,
so many hours into that game.
yeah.
Like that was like my game when I was a child. That was my game.
You
So
probably know it inside and out. I bet you could list the item pickups and the spawn rates and stuff like that.
it was really sad. Like I'm trying to think. I would go through and it said like 85 kills basic clone trooper or like whatever. Cuz that was the number one class I'd play. I just play the basic clone trooper and just gun everything down on the highest difficulty. I just got to the point it was just not.
You're invincible to the AI.
I mean, and because you get
We'll
the
hit that
bonuses.
85 kills in Battlefield 5, assuming
Yeah.
that it's good. We'll play that together. But
But no,
yeah,
yeah,
so
the new one. So I know they had the trouble with the loot box and everything, and that's an understatement when I said trouble. But supposedly you were telling me that it's better now a little bit. Like they've reworked some of the stuff, so it's making me consider picking it up.
now I don't waste my time on such lowly things such as loot boxes, so I haven't been keeping up with it. But they apparently I don't think it's part of the core gameplay, like unlocking heroes or stuff critical to gameplay. It's just
Okay.
customization. But the game is wonderfully made. Now, gameplay wise, it's not very deep, but if you want to feel like you're a clone trooper or something, Battlefront 2 is the way to go. It's very immersive. They're gonna make a narrative linear by Respawn, which is super exciting because Respawn made Titanfall 2 and
Oh yeah,
Titanfall
they
devs.
announced a new game. Yeah, it comes out
They announced it from the
2019
audience.
holiday.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But
The what?
they
Oh
announced it
yeah.
from the audience. Like they
Yeah, that
didn't give
was weird. Yeah.
but yeah, and the Titanfall devs, Respawn Entertainment, classic, man. Their dev team is from the original Call of Duty developers who bailed once it got too stale. These guys have very high quality, very, even charming. Like I played Titanfall 2, it's like a buddy cop film. We
Yeah.
just watched Upgrade together, and
Yeah, today.
yeah,
Today.
it kind of reminds me of that. Well, I don't want to spoil Upgrade or anything, but Titanfall 2 was like a buddy cop movie with a giant robot. It was awesome. And I have full faith in Respawn. I love Respawn.
Yeah.
They made they announced Sea of Solitude. That's right. That
Yeah,
was a
that was
weird
one of
looking
their
game.
indie games. It looked pretty cool though.
It
Like
looked
the
cool,
graphics
man.
were pretty stunning. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the monkey girl, this dark monkey, pitch black monkey girl with red eyes.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
darkness inside manifesting itself outside. Yeah.
There's already
Pretty.
been a number of shady tweets and posts about it
Oh
from
wow.
less than reputable sources.
Oh god.
Yeah, I
I
know.
can only imagine.
Yeah. Don't imagine. Don't imagine at all.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
I was gonna say, so with the Battlefront thing, they announced that they were adding, I think it was DLC, but with finally they're bringing, because I'm a lover of the prequels. You can hate me for that, audience. I don't care.
Ugh.
I love both the prequels and the originals. They're all
Disliked.
from George
Unsubscribed.
Lucas. They're all from George Lucas, and I know he was not the best director because of Howard the Duck, but because that was horrible. But you know what? nostalgia from when I was a kid. And I will admit that the acting's not the best, but nostalgia and the ideas and the lightsaber fights, it's all there. But anyway, so I'm excited because they announced Count Dooku, General Grievous, and Anakin and Obi-Wan from the prequels. So I'm excited because all amazing people. And I wished that they had been in the original Battlefront 2. That was partially why I was hesitant. It was too much focused originals and sequels, but now they're adding that and a huge Geonosis map. I think they said it was the biggest map ever that they had made or something. They said something about it, so it should be pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, and I love the Clone Wars, Benjamin. I haven't watched the entire series, but I've watched a
Which
couple
we're gonna
scenes.
do.
The cartoon, the 3D
Oh,
animated
the
cartoon.
cartoon. Yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
showed me some clips from the 2D original, which was pretty rad, and they had
from
some
the
nice action.
OG.
It
Yeah,
reminded
for
me of like the early 2000s cartoons, like the Powerpuff Girls and stuff, where they had this action, but it was kind of silent the whole time,
yeah.
where no one was talking. It was really cool.
But yeah, but to all those people out there who've heard of the Star Wars, the Clone Wars, like the Cartoon Network one, that's not the first Star Wars, the Clone Wars. The original one came out way earlier. And it was a whole bunch of shorts put together, two different volumes, like volume 1 and 2, each one about an hour, hour and a half. And those are absolutely amazing. You can find them for free on YouTube, I believe, right now. The
Ooh,
whole thing.
I will
I
watch
actually
that.
own DVD copies of both,
Ha,
as
nerd.
well. Well, I watched them when I was a kid. Before I even heard of this whole Cartoon Network Star Wars thing, I had already been watching these. Um, and by the way, this is when Asajj Ventress was created. Her character is from this, and they took it from there to put it into the Star Wars, the Clone Wars, the Cartoon Network one. So just go watch it. It's amazing. But I know a lot of people have never heard of this, but it's a thing that exists, and it's amazing. So I 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Absolutely. Very, the Benjamin seal of approval.
Yes, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, nice. So they gave some Anthem stuff. Uh, she said something about Anthem and like three people clapped. So
Oh, oh.
yeah. So everyone's reaction was that it's not Skate 4. It's kind of like a mix of Destiny and Division, and three people care about it. So my
Oh.
final grade for EA, D plus. It was
D
underwhelming, Benjamin.
plus.
The D plus. It was underwhelming.
The
Okay.
sports and the mobile gamers. Did you?
Oh
We.
Christ, yeah, the mobile game, man. Yeah, they showed Command and Conquer, a gaming classic.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's one of the old ones, Benjamin. This isn't anything new. It's like a really good PC strategy game reduced to mobile. And they had this like
Oh.
fake competitive match with like these guys like these commentators talking about what's happening. And I'm convinced that they came up with this stuff beforehand because there's no way they improvised all this commentary about this super boring mobile gameplay. It's God. I'm so yeah. So D plus for trying to push mobile because like five people of any game spend like $1 million on it, and not enough Battlefield. So that was EA. Anything? Any final thoughts?
I concur. I
Yeah.
concur. Yeah, I'm excited about Battlefield 5 and Star Wars Battlefront 2 with the DLC. So, it's on sale right now. I may pick it up. Think.
Yeah. So Microsoft comes in next. Phil Spencer's doing the thing. Good old Phil Spence. Now, I wasn't looking forward to Microsoft because they always have the cringiest possible E3 presentation. They try really hard to be hip with the kids. Like when you look at like East versus West or whatever in terms of presentation and stuff, this is as Western. Hey, hello, fellow kids, buy my game. Like it's just not good at all.
Wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they introduced Halo Infinite and said nothing about it. So it's presumably some sort of like service thing where instead of a normal Halo game, it's like a lot of like a lot of player-driven content maybe. But my question was, will they talk about video games this year? Because they try really hard to sell their console as a multimedia device and
Right.
spend like they'll spend half the E3 presentation on talking about TV and movies, and it's super lame. It just doesn't work. So I was wondering if they're going to talk about video games. And you know what,
Yeah.
Benjamin? They did. So they
Yes.
announced a new Ori and the Blind Forest, great platformer.
Hmm.
I haven't played it, don't know much about it. They announced Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, which is developed by From Software, the guys who made Dark Souls, and it's a Japanese setting, still very supernatural. It's basically Jap Souls. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Dark Souls, Jap Souls, and it looks pretty cool, man. I might pick it up. Probably not, just 'cause I don't know. I'm not like a big Dark Souls guy. I played the third, but looks pretty cool.
Hmm.
So Todd Howard, the meme himself, walks on stage and he's all like, "Buy my game." Ooh, Fallout 76. Here's a little trailer, and it had Country Roads playing, and I think there's a building focus, but it was just a tease for their presentation, and he left. So have you heard of Life is Strange, Benjamin?
Yes, I'm actually planning to play that pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah, it's all right, I guess.
I
Uh, it's
haven't
good.
played
It's
it, so we're
good.
not
It's
gonna
not bad.
talk
It's
about it
good, Benjamin. We're not going to talk about it. It's good.
because I'm we will maybe at some point, but I need to play it first because I know it's one of those games where you can get spoiled. So,
Yeah, you'll like it. You'll like it.
well,
Okay, so
I'm a
anyway,
huge choose your own adventure fan. Anyway, continue.
say announced Life as Children or whatever. It's not literally Life as Children. It's
Life
like
is children.
it's it's just like this kid and his single dad because their mom died, and he's very imaginative, and it's like we were all children once. You'll love this game, and I think it's free to play for the next couple weeks. I think it's releasing in a week or two. I don't know, but
Hmm.
I don't know. It looks cool, I guess, if you're into that. So Terry Crews Crackdown 3. So Crackdown 2 was this game, kind of niche, but it was very popular among certain groups. And they had this trailer for Crackdown 3, which everyone was excited for. And Terry Crews, baby, yeah! Terry Crews, meme-tastic voice comes on, and he starts talking about laying down the smackdown, yeah. And I don't know, I don't think it landed very well.
With the audience.
Yeah, I don't think like Crackdown 2 fans were like, hell yeah, Terry Crews. But okay, Microsoft. Whatever. Get on to the good stuff, Microsoft. So they showed some more Metro Exodus gameplay and
Hmm.
trailers. Suka Blat and all that. And you know what? I really liked Metro. I read the books. I read a one of the
Oh
book. I
wow.
read the first book,
Yeah.
which the games are based off of, and it's weird because you don't see many book to game adaptations,
Yeah.
and it worked great. It's not like licensed movie games. I mean, it worked wonderfully, and the games are
That's cool
great.
though. That's
Oh yeah,
cool.
oh yeah. The setting is just moi, so good.
Mwah.
So I'm excited for that. So Kingdom Hearts, they announced something for that, and we talked about
Kingdom
this on
Hearts
the
3. Yeah.
yeah, they, we talked about it on the way to watching Upgrade. I said I just really can't take it seriously, man. They go like, "Hoo hoo, sorry, Goofy, I joined the dark side." I can't do it, man. I can't. I know it's like it's very long running series with like it's got a serious storyline and characters in it. And it uses Disney characters as like as a plot device and characters themselves, and it's nice, but I just can't take it seriously.
Yeah, I was talking about I've played the first one on PS2. I played a little bit a long time ago and like it was okay. Like the gameplay was fine and the other things. Um and I could see there is a serious story there and whatever, but like you're right, it does just sort of feel a little bit weird like with Goofy, Mickey and Donald the duck. Uh you just can't you it takes me out of the immersion, man.
Now, my friend Chris, the guy who introduced me to Dragon Con and stuff, he would tear me apart if anyone if more than two people listen to this podcast and he was one of them, he'd tear me apart for saying it. But I just can't get into it. Chris, if you're listening, man, we'll do a Kingdom Hearts episode if you want to come on, man. and you can just school me in Kingdom Hearts. But some of the lines in
Well,
the
no,
trailer were.
the story I have heard is really good in the
I've
gameplay.
heard it's
Like,
got a long running story, very good. Even like
yeah,
a comic or a manga or something.
yeah. And I mean, I've even played through the first one. I liked playing, the night they had cool worlds like the Nightmare Before Christmas and um I can't even remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland. There we go. Like some interesting stories, but now they're in Frozen, so I
Yeah,
don't
I
even
can
know.
get behind that, I guess. But now one thing that I said it's just not my cup of tea. But one thing, some of the voicing is just like really awkward. Like he says something serious. He's like, his heart. He's talking to Goofy, and he's like, talking about some other guy, and he says, his heart is in my heart, or something like that. It was really awkward delivery. And like I said in the car, maybe it's better in Japanese. Maybe it sounds better there, but
Oh yeah,
it's delivered very strangely. A lot of the lines, especially Elsa.
yeah.
I don't know.
I still don't just like. I would be curious to see how it all started. Like who came up with this idea.
Probably
Like
Disney.
yeah, but
Make
like
us some
how this
money.
ended
Ha
up
ha.
into the mix with JRPG and Final Fantasy. Like I know that they have some crossover characters and whatever. I'm just like, how did this happen? I,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fascinating, like how that actually came together. But alas, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So then they announced Sea of Nothing DLC. Okay, Sea of Thieves was very controversial for having very little content, and people didn't want it,
Well,
so
it was
they're
a
trying to
streamers game, right? Like it
streamers
was the
game.
game for streamers to just joke around with and
I
mess
mean,
around and
kind
lock
of,
people in the brig.
kind of. I mean, it wasn't really it's not like streamer bait. It's a real game, but it didn't really have much content and much things to do with your friends.
Yeah.
And people were bothered about that, and they're trying to salvage it by introducing a bunch of free DLC, and I don't think people are biting. I'm sorry, guys. Nobody wants to play Sea of Thieves. So then this shot of the countryside goes up, and I'm like, Battlefield 5 more gameplay? Nope. Fuck you, audience. Here's a car game instead, loser. Woo! So we looked at some Forza, which is all right. I don't know. I'm not a big racer guy.
Yeah, got to get those RPMs in Mario Kart. There you go.
Oh. So
That's
then,
my extent with racing games.
yeah,
Mario Kart.
kick my ass in Mario Kart. But then they go on. So I joked about EA sucking up devs and stuff. So
hmm
Microsoft isn't settling for just killing and eating and devouring the corpses of dev studios. They brag about it. So they they showed, I think, a
What?
couple studios they sucked up. So they sucked up Undead Studios or whatever, which they were basically already their bitch. Okay, so they were making State of Decay, which is a zombie game,
hmm
Xbox exclusive. When you're exclusive with Xbox, you're basically already their slave. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
They announced a different one. I don't even know. Ninja Theory, which did the crazy Viking woman game, that was pretty popular.
Hmm.
You can ask Brett about that. He was super into that. Vikings and all
You
that. He
mean
loves that.
Valkyrie?
It wasn't
Was it a
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie?
Not a Valkyrie.
Okay.
Sinua's Sacrifice.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, and then Compulsion Games, which is making We Happy Few, which will never ever come out. I've decided it'll never ever release because it's been in development forever.
What, like Half-Life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not at all like Half-Life, but
Okay.
almost
No,
similar.
no, I'm
It's
saying that it'll
just
never come out.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the first time in a long time we heard news about We Happy Few, which they mentioned down the line. They give some gameplay later, but I don't know. It's just been so many years, and it has really high potential. The setting is so cool with the whole
hmm
like dystopian London. Everyone has to be high all the time. Smile while they break your legs kind of deal. It's really nice. And people, when they were showing the game for the first time, they thought it was going to be a kind of linear narrative, oh geez, uh, total brain fart. BioShock. They thought it was going to be like BioShock, which
hmm
you almost played there for a minute, but
I played a little bit of it, yeah.
yeah. But it's a survival open world game with you go to these certain spots to get missions and cutscenes and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. Expectations are mixed. So then
Yeah.
Pub Grounds, they show some Pub Grounds gameplay and a tease for a snow map, which I can't believe they have the guts to show Pub Grounds because when they introduced it to the Xbox, totally terrible launch. Worst launch ever, Benjamin. The
Dang.
game barely rendered textures, people, barely worked at all. Connection was terrible.
I don't see how these things happen though. Like, how do they not know?
It was a big thing that came up out of nowhere. It really brought battle
Oh, is
royale
it a
games
bug?
to a big.
Okay.
It wasn't just a bug, man. It
No,
was
no, no.
this.
I'm not talking about the game. It's like, how do they like not know that it was going to be terrible, a terrible launch on this on the platform?
Probably a lack of communication, I'd imagine, because battle royale games it made it popular, and Xbox is like, we need to slide in on that and siphon some
Yeah,
cash.
right.
So they say, hey, make an Xbox version, and I don't think Microsoft had a team working on the Xbox version. I think they had the Pub Grounds team make it themselves, and they barely had a working model at all. In fact, I don't think it was working. I think it was broken. And you can
Yeah.
watch. There's this YouTuber called Crowbcat, which he's got a little Max Payne avatar picture, and it's very cynical videos because it usually highlights stuff that doesn't work great and things like that. And you can just look up his video on it, and it just shows every flaw, and it's just really terrible.
Mm.
So shout out to me again for my totally accurate Battlegrounds vid. Look it up at Sorry Bones on YouTube. Yeah, capital S, capital B.
Shameless plug. All right.
Oh, no shame at all.
No shame.
So then he's all like, "Oh, hey guys, I, Philip Spencer, also enjoy anime." And he shows a bunch of anime games. Tales of Vesperia, I'm not really into it, but lots of memery in the comments in the Twitch chat, and on V. So I'd imagine that Tales of Vesperia has been in development forever or something.
Hmm.
I don't know, it's not my thing. Division 2, right? I don't care. Division was all right. It was all right. I don't know. You're supposed to get together with your normie friends and like just walk around and do stuff. I don't know. Tomb Raider looks all right, I guess. Skate 4, Benjamin. They announced Skate 4. Just
Wait, they
kidding.
did.
Just kidding, you fucking idiot. No, it's a skate game called Session, okay? You thought Skate 4 was going to
Ah,
be here? That's your fault. Get out of here. So it's this game they teased a long while ago called Session,
yeah.
which is like Skate, but everyone was freaking out. They're like, Skate 4, let's go, Skate 4! And then it's not Skate 4. Devil May Cry if you're into that. And you know what, Benjamin? This is for you. There's a tiny little indie game by a studio called Finji with a fox, because you like foxes. Yeah. It's called Tunic, and it's a cute little. It, it
I
kind of
have to
looks like a
look this
mobile
up
game,
now.
but much, much better developed. And it's like an isometric cartoony thing where you're this little fox that has Dark Souls-like combat in an isometric space. I can't believe I
Whoa.
just said Souls-like unironically, but I did. I did. And yeah. So you got to look that up once we finish this.
Oh, is it only on Xbox One though?
I don't know. Might be coming to
I hope
PC.
not. Yeah, I hope it makes its way to PC.
They do have a Microsoft store, which oftentimes has crossplay with Xbox, so they might release it on Microsoft Store if it's not
Yeah.
already on just PC, period.
Oh, people are saying it's like Zelda or something.
Yeah,
Interesting.
kind of, yeah. But maybe that's why it's called Tunic. But yeah, so that's very cute. Thought it'd be right up your alley.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco shows a little game, which is like people freaked out. It's called Jump Force. It's like, oh, my Goku, my Naruto, oh, my One Piece characters. I'm not into that stuff, but if you're into fighting games and anime, it's right up your alley.
Blast Blue, Chrono Phantasma, Guilty Gear, XRD.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
There was
So,
there was a time when I was super
yeah.
into fighting games that I was like looking up all of them and I learned about those games. I even bought
No kidding.
BlazBlue, Chrono Phantasma. I still have it. I
Oh
suck at
yeah,
it.
we played that, didn't we?
I don't know if
We
we
played
did, but
a
we
fighting
should
game at
if
your
we.
house.
Yeah, I don't think that one though.
Not
We
that
need
one?
to play this one though, just like to mess around.
We will
Trust
play it.
me, it will be a day you'll not forget.
I'm shaking hands with you through the microphone right now. We'll play it.
Yeah. I played it with my cousin and he couldn't stop just sitting there just with like a face of just total disbelief, just like, what am I seeing right now?
Yes.
Those are the days. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so Microsoft, like I said, is really weak at the beginning. Okay, so this is
Hmm.
where it picks up. All right, this is where shit gets real, Benjamin. This is where they drop some bombs on the audience. So Dying Light 2 gets announced, which I love Dying Light. Dying Light
Yeah.
is made by Techland, which are the guy. They're partially the people who made Dead Island.
Hmm.
Dead Island was kind of a mess. Wasn't that great of a game, and these guys kept on getting told they needed to make more Dead Island, so they peeled off and made their own thing. And they just needed creative freedom because Dying Light is great. First person parkour zombie game. I know zombies are beating a dead horse, but I really like it. So this one is set way in the future. The other one was during the first few weeks of the outbreak in the city called Haram or something,
Yeah.
and I think it's Turkey. I think it's a Turkey city up in Turkey. Now, Dying Light 2, I don't know where the city is, but it's a deep apocalypse future. So I think it's 15 or 20 years after the infection, which surprised me. But even the Twitch chat loved it. You know, they which is rare because they're usually just making bored faces. Uh, it even had gameplay. They showed some gameplay of it. I don't know, how accurate it is, but they have builds working right now, which is exciting.
Hmm.
It's got this like moral choice thing going on. It's not black and white, good or bad, and it's not exactly order versus chaos. It's like totalitarianism versus capitalism, maybe anarchy. I don't know.
Anarchy would make more sense. Yeah, I don't know.
The example they did involved the black market and like free market stuff, but I don't know if it's anarchy, just period, and that happened to go in line. But
Huh.
yeah, so that's great, man. I love Dying Light too. You should play the original. It's great. So after they do that, they announce Battletoads, Benjamin.
Battletoads.
Battletoads. Yeah, you know Battletoads, right?
I have heard of it. Yes.
Yes. So they're announcing a modern day Battletoads title, which is crazy, man. Nobody expected that. That was out of nowhere. I mean, it's kind of a joke, it's kind of a meme, but then they make a modern title, so everyone flipped out about Battletoads. Super hyped for it. Get ready. We're gonna play Battletoads. Uh, Just Cause 4, whatever. And then they drop another bomb. Gears of War 5.
Wah! We
Just
played.
kidding, Benjamin. Go fuck yourself. It's a Pop Chibi mobile game. Go fuck you. Okay, it's not Gears of War 5. Can't believe you thought that. You're wrong,
What?
Benjamin.
No.
But just kidding again. It's Gears of War XCOM, which is all right. That's pretty cool, I
Wait.
guess.
What?
Yeah, it's an XCOM. It's kind of
Crossover?
like XCOM. It's kind of like XCOM, but it's Gears of War. It's the gameplay of
Huh.
XCOM, Gears of War. I don't know why they didn't just lead with that. So you're like, oh, okay. So they went from like terrible to pretty all right. Just kidding again, Benjamin. Gears 5 announced. You play as
What?
Kate from the fourth one. I don't actually care that much about Gears of War. Just disclaimer, I don't care that much. But the fact that they just pulled a triple, ruse, they just totally fooled me 3 times. Just totally got me. That was very impressive.
The audacity
The
to do
audacity.
that.
I mean, really.
God.
So you're saying
I was saying, didn't we? Was the fourth one? Is that the one that we played, or the third one?
it was the
We played
fourth
one
one
of
we
them.
played together?
Okay, the one we like sat through a marathon the entire
Yeah.
two-player. Yeah, we're chainsaws.
Yeah, I have good memories of the first two Gears of War games, so the chance to play the fourth one with you is pretty fun. I
Yeah,
remember the wombo combo where I pull one over the cover and you run up and stab it with the execution. That
yeah,
was fun.
yeah.
But
And how we got stuck on that crane forever. That took
oh my
way too
God, the
long.
little you gotta
What was that,
launch
like
the
30
rock.
minutes or something? Yeah,
Jesus.
we went back and forth like maybe 3 to 4 times, taking turns trying to do
We were doing the right thing, but it was so
it.
finicky about
We were just
exactly
so
where to launch the boulder.
maybe we were just really bad.
No, that's impossible. It's impossible.
Impossible.
So that was it for Microsoft. So they're packing up and sending home. And just kidding, you stupid idiot. Personal responsibility, Benjamin. There's this trailer a long time ago, I mean years ago, for this thing called Cyberpunk 2077. It had this
Yeah.
really cool trailer, slow motion, and this robot, freaky, beautiful robot girl with sword hands getting shot at, and it goes, and this music goes, personal responsibility, over and over, and it's really good. But then we don't hear anything about it for the next several years. So this was the E3 where mid adios, midway through saying goodbye, they do like a fake hacking thing where it's like E3 just got hacked, and then they show it's a cinematic, it's not gameplay, but it shows it
Yeah.
exists and it's strong in development. People
Wow.
are now kicking up a dust storm saying it's not going to be good or it's going to be the best game ever and all this stuff, but I'm just glad it exists.
Yeah.
So then
Wow. Yeah.
yeah,
The flair. They're Microsoft sounds like they're
Microsoft
just
was going nuts, man.
theatric. Yeah.
Very theatric. So their final grade, C plus. They started
What?
slow.
What? Only a C plus? Dang.
Benjamin, I'm not just gonna hand out A's over here, man. Let me say that
You're making 'em
first
work
half,
for it.
yeah, that first half, really lame, really boring. And just because I got excited saying, "Oh, tricked you, that's not true," doesn't mean that every time I said tricked you, that's not true is a good thing. So, there's some fake outs and kind of like whatever standard stuff. Not into that.
You're
But they
like the
finished very strong.
theatrics. Yeah, you're like the theatrics doesn't excuse more like less stuff being shown,
Yeah.
less cool stuff. I see. No Skate 4.
Okay. Yeah. Just because they brought Todd Howard up on stage. Okay. Just because I thought it was going to be Battlefield 5 gameplay, but nope, it's not. Just because I thought that it was Skate 4, but oh, just kidding, it's not Skate 4. Just because okay, they announced Gears 5, like they trick us 2 times in a row, but also I don't really care that much about Gears 5. So it started slow, finished very strong, and they had a bunch of world premieres. They made sure to say world premiere before every single like game they announced. So,
Oh my god. Yeah.
and then there's one more, Benjamin. There's Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Bethesda. So Bethesda had a bunch of hosts, depending on the game, they'd bring up one of the developers talking on their behalf. And we're all just waiting for Todd Howard though. So I'm just gonna pretend that the official speaker was Todd Howard because I love him.
Yeah.
Now, Rage 2 is one of their big titles they're really trying to push. I don't really believe it'll sell well. The first
Hmm.
Rage flopped super hard, and they're trying to like remake it. They're using Get Ready to Die by Andrew WK. What a classic as their theme for it, kind of for the marketing. And they brought him
Right.
up on stage and they had a very awkward concert, which wasn't that great. Some of the humor is lost on me. It kind of looks like Borderlands single player. I don't know. I don't really believe in Rage 2.
Hmm.
It doesn't even make me angry, to be honest. Quake Arena, which is a classic FPS Quake, and it's the kind where you run around really fast in first person and you shoot projectile rockets and you have to predict people's movements way in advance. It's a very
Whoa.
high skill game, so I'm wondering if the new Quake Arena will be that high skill level, or if it's going to
Right.
be easier than that. But it has hero gameplay, so like Overwatch or something.
Yeah. Huh.
The new Prey, the Prey that got released, with the one up in space. They're
Yeah.
releasing a Get Off the Moon DLC where you're on the moon that was in the outside the windows of the Prey game main game, and it's like a Groundhog Day kind of deal with a simulation.
Ah.
And they play the "You spin me right round, baby, right round." They
Yeah.
play that song, and then they'd reset it, and they would have the same like intro every time, and
Right.
it shows like
Because they're on
fail.
Easy Street. Okay.
Yeah, so it's that,
Ah.
but it would be like failure number 401 or something crazy like that. So
Right.
I'm excited for that, and they also have a prop hunt mode. You know what prop hunt is, Benjamin?
Yes, I do.
They're gonna
Gary's
have a
mine.
prop hunt
Yeah.
mode multiplayer, where you play as one of the mimics that you fight in the game, which
Yeah.
is cool. Wolfenstein Youngblood, new DLC for Wolfenstein. where you play as the twin daughter protagonists of BJ Blazkowicz from the main game, and it's
Yeah.
co-op. Maybe we'll play that. Probably not. Don't really. I don't know. I'm not really into Wolfenstein, but it's cool. Now, okay, so this whole time Todd has not been on stage, and the internet is in uproar, and they're like, "Where the fuck is Todd? Where did Microsoft kidnap Todd? Because Todd was on Microsoft stage, now he's not here." But oh, here he is for Fallout 76, and he goes, "I'm gonna tell you what you really came here for," and then someone in the audience goes, "We came for you, Todd."
Wow.
Yeah. So he goes, thanks, and then he reveals a new Skyrim port, which is it's you can play Skyrim on your Alexa, which I told you about in the car.
Right.
But lots of very self-aware jokes that made me actually laugh because I did not expect them to acknowledge. I can't believe they go online and browse the Todd memes. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
So got to eat those cheese wheels and stuff.
Right,
He
right,
even
right, right.
yeah. So Fallout 76. Please buy Todd's game. It's in West Virginia. It's an MMO FPS, right?
Hmm.
And I'm worried it's going to be a little easy since Todd claims you can play alone. So like a traditional Fallout game, but that means you
Hmm.
can take on most mobs alone. But
Yeah.
suddenly all those multiplayer mods for New Vegas and stuff getting torn down by the man. It makes sense because they're making their own. So I guess that's
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm excited for the nuclear bomb mechanic, where it's like you can gather nuclear codes from mobs and then team up with people who have pieces of the code and nuke someone you both hate. So that's cool. Mobile Skyrim, please pre-order our free game. Don't know what they meant by that. Starfield Reveal. It's this game, but we don't know what it is, and all we've seen is like a ship floating around in orbit around a planet. And he acted like it was gonna reveal something, but then it's just another tease. And I
Hmm.
saw on a post on 4chan, someone posted a screenshot where from last year's E3, where this guy claimed that he was an employee and that they're walking around freaking out because they need more Starfield, uh, development. But the guy who works is like, I don't even know if anyone's working on Starfield because they announced like 10 different mainstay series is being developed. Like they're developing an Elder Scrolls 6, big giant title. Developing
Yeah.
Fallout 76, big giant title. Okay, I got stuff like Prey and Wolfenstein, all those other ones. No one's working on Starfield. So I don't know if that post was true about the guy running around all stressed and if people are going to lose their jobs, but I don't know. So my final grade, a B. I think it was a solid, dependable show.
Just Todd Howard.
Yeah, Todd Howard saved it with his sweet little eyes. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. This is a singing episode today.
Yeah,
But I
it's
know
true.
I know a lot of these games are lost on you because you haven't really gotten the chance to play many of these.
I
But
know.
hopefully by next year's E3, you will understand all these things they keep on mentioning and talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've learned a lot through osmosis, just being around, and I've played lots of stuff, but I will just continue to explore and see all these amazing new games that come out. So,
Yep, and they have more conferences on the way. Actually,
yes, this is part one.
actually, I wonder if Sony's about to do it. Hold on, countdown to E3.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, really. I know Ubisoft went while I was out, and it's already in process.
Process.
I wonder how long it's been. Okay, well, before I start it and then capture a bunch of audio, we will give a part two later. And that's all.
To be continued.
To be continued. See ya.
See ya.